Hi folks, welcome back to GP Reactions. I hope you're well. Hope you've had a nice Easter. It's not been too bad, the weather. It's mostly been sort of sunny, bit of rain in between, but I do enjoy the little break over Easter, and yeah, it's just been nice to get a few things done. I didn't do any reactions last couple of days because I was just sitting around eating, getting fat, and unfortunately now I can feel it around my waistline. So, but yeah, it's been good. It's been a nice break, and looking forward to doing some more reactions. Yeah, just a big thank you to everyone that has subscribed, who have commented, and of course anyone that has donated to my Buy Me a Coffee. And I love the suggestions actually that are coming through Buy Me a Coffee, which I will act upon. And so yeah, if you've got anything that I haven't heard before and you suggest it through that, then I'll probably get around to reacting to it, because a lot of it's new music to me anyway. So I'd react to it anyway. But also I react to um, tracks that are suggested just in a comments box, because not everybody wants to donate in order to get reaction, and I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, just thank you to everyone that is involved in my channel, and love to read your comments. So this is a track I've never heard of by a group I've never heard of. They are a synth pop band. It probably might be, I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, but maybe I'll judge afterwards. And they're called Psyche, and this is a track called Misery from the album 69 Minutes of History from 1993. I'm not sure if this was ever commercially successful. And I don't know anything about this band whatsoever, except for that they consist of Darren Huss and Stephen Huss. And I believe that these two brothers came back after maybe a little break from the music. They came back in, I think, maybe 91, 92 to work on this album. So yeah, without further ado, always looking forward to listening to new sort of music. And I don't know that there was much synth pop necessarily in the same genre as the early 80s, around the beginning of the 90s. Um, does it feel that would feel a little bit out of kilter maybe? There's a lot of really good sort of synth music out then, but um, it was more towards, I don't know, trying to think actually what was around in the 90s. All I can think of is Nirvana and Radiohead. I can't really think of any synth pop, to be fair. So, do you know what? Let's just play it and find out. It's a really brooding beginning. Nice. Really enjoyed that beginning.
From asleep at night to when I wake, I see things that make me afraid. On the other side of the darkness, a body that doesn't quite feel like my own. I don't know what it really means to keep my dignity. I was blind, but now I see I'm trapped by misery. Cities I don't recognize, and people that I cannot place. I'm followed by an angry vision, a past I know I cannot erase. I don't know what it really means to keep my dignity. I was blind.
been a heavy synth in this, and I love his voice as well. I've got vibes of a little bit of New Order, a little bit of Erasure, and it's a sort of very atmospheric way of vocalizing, singing, to give it like a little bit of drama to the actual lyrics. The lyrics, I'm not really sure. I think that maybe this is a kind of like a dream, but dreams often channel our, stressful thoughts during the day, and we have a dream at night, and it's even though it's otherworldly, it can sometimes be quite dark, and it's just a reflection of our own sort of psychological states that we have, with the stresses of the world that we take to our sleeping, waking, sleeping, and it just, it's a cycle really of not sleeping very well, having these almost very vivid, fevered dreams of, just things that just reflect, bad stuff going on in your life, and yeah, we can often read too much into them, but I think this is maybe this is what it's about. It could be something else, but um, I think a lot of synth music. I think the lyrics weren't always; they were just there to carry the vibe of the music. So who knows? Let me just take that back a touch.
But now I see I'm trapped by misery. Don't know where I'm going, 'cause I can't see the end of the road without the truth of the story. I'm afraid of what I've been told. I don't know what it really means to keep my dignity. I was blind, but now I see I'm trapped by misery. I don't know what it really means to keep my dignity. I was blind, but now I see I'm trapped by misery. Sweet misery, misery. I'm trapped by misery.
It's actually really atmospheric. I like this.
It really means to keep my dignity. I was blind, but now I see I'm trapped by misery.
Love the electronic percussion as well. It was actually really good. I enjoyed that. I would have probably been massively into this had I heard it. Maybe I would say had I heard this in '93, I believe it's from 1993, I would have been massively into it, but maybe not. Maybe a few years before, in late '80s, I probably would have been hugely into it. Um, but that's not taking anything away from it. It's really, really cool. I wasn't really listening to music in the early '90s anyway, not seriously. And but yeah, this is really cool, and it does have '80s vibes about it. So I am actually questioning whether I have the correct date for this track. And I liked his voice. It was had lots of, you can tell that there's lots of different influences there to kind of carry his voice. There's a little bit of a Depeche Mode, a little bit of Erasure, a little bit of Mark Almond, and that's the same with the music. I've a little bit of the um, a New Order, that kind of heavy synth, and that electronic percussion. Um, yeah, maybe a little bit of Depeche Mode as well. So And that's not to lessen anything that Depeche Mode, New Order, Soft Cell, or Erasure did. They were massive, massive groups, back in the day. And but do you know what? It's quite flattering that anyone might want to um, take on a few of the vibes of those groups because ultimately it's impossible to actually create a whole brand new sound without actually being influenced by another sound. I think, ever since the conception of music, people will listen to stuff. I mean, Elvis was had his influences. Everybody's had been influenced by something, and so it's good that the guys have made this album. I'm assuming that the two guys on this 69 Minutes of History album cover are Darren Huss and Stephen Huss. Um, so yeah, this was very, very good. I actually really enjoyed this. I didn't think I would because it's on a long list of synth pop tracks that I've been listening to, and think most of them have been quite good, actually, to be fair. And there's always something about a synth pop track you can't really. It's There isn't anything that's really duff. I mean, obviously, if it's a bit repetitive, then that can actually get a little bit annoying. Especially if it goes on for more than 3 minutes or something. But I didn't feel that this was repetitive. I liked his voice. I liked his cadence. I liked the way he delivered the sound, the way he used his voice to convey emotion and fear, especially in the very, very first line, I think it was. Let me just take that back. Took a while to get going as well. I love the very slow build up to this song. That's not a. I don't. I don't think that's something that's really done these days because I guess you're looking at studio time, but yeah, it was just really, really nice. It was quite artistically, creatively done, I thought. It doesn't need to be hurried.
Sleep at night to when I wake. I see things that make me afraid. On the other side of the darkness.
I love that little inflection in his voice, the other side of darkness. It was almost like a little tremor, like he was relating, how things made him kind of feel, made him feel afraid. Um, but then there's a slight emotion where he says, on the other side of darkness, a body that doesn't quite feel like my own.
Body that doesn't quite feel like my own.
So I think this is like maybe a night terror, maybe it's a feeling of being in a waking state when you actually sleep. So really, really vivid dreams. But I won't go through all of the lyrics because I just kind of got the impression that it was just taking us on a little bit of a journey through his mind, what's going on. And like I said, it might be completely abstract, these lyrics, and they might be those that you are meant to, look at from different perspectives. And, it could be, the fear of life rather than an actual dream. And, uh, I mean, okay, so cities I don't recognize and people I cannot place. I mean, I followed by an angry vision, a past I cannot erase. So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of your past is haunting you. Maybe it's in your consciousness. There's a lot of abstract ideas, and it's that you could actually feed into your own ideas, and that's probably what the one good thing about this. It's I think the songwriting of this was actually quite solid and quite clever. Um, and I think the only thing that maybe made that it wasn't commercially successful without knowing anything about the group was that maybe it was too similar to other groups that were still around. And sometimes that can like water down the effect of this group. Had this group released this in maybe 84, 85, it may have had more of an impact commercially. But no, it was actually really, really good. And I say actually really, really good. It was good, and I enjoyed it. And I'll probably go back and have a listen to it in a bit once I finish the reaction. Because yeah, it yeah, took me on a little bit of a journey, and I loved the heaviness of the of the sound and electronic sound and the percussion as well. And I remembered back in the it. I think I'll tell you what it is that I really enjoyed. It made me kind of nostalgic for stuff I was listening to in the, I suppose, later part of the 80s. That kind of made me feel, I don't know, just reminded me of something I've heard before that I probably heard during the summer or something that made me feel a bit, good about myself. And so, it's just one of those. It's on the periphery of my psyche, I think, which is interesting as that's the name of the group. And but this the name of this track was called Misery, and I think so. Thinking it's possibly just about a dream, it's possibly alluding to something a little deeper, that's not so much dreaming. So, folks, if you enjoyed this, please join me in the comments below. Let me know what you think of it, whether you enjoyed it or not. And if you know anything about this group or what Darren or Stephen Huss did following this, then yeah, please let me know. Always interesting to find out what happens to these artists once they burn a little bit brightly and then they completely disappear. Yeah, so till next time, take care of yourself. Have a really, really good week.